So our Genesis barbecue is fired up. It's nice and hot. It's a beautiful sunny day. What are we going to make, Marco?
Well, we're going to cook some lamb chops and some salmon steaks, and then we're going to make a ketchup vinaigrette, which is very simple. Everything's out of a jar or a bottle. Let's take a little bit of mustard. Dijon mustard. A splash of vinegar. White wine.
It's funny when you sort of think of somebody who works at your level, then hearing you use the expression, we're going to make a ketchup vinaigrette, quite surprised me.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I think because you always imagine that everything that you're going to do is going to be very high. And I know that isn't how you are, but it was... When I was sort of saying to my husband, you know what he's cooking? He said, yeah, and it was the ketchup vinaigrette. A what? I said, seriously? So what have we got in there? We've got Tabasco, we've got Worcester sauce,
Ketchup.
ketchup.
White wine vinegar, Worcester sauce, Tabasco, olive oil. Just play with it. There we are. Basically, you just allow your palate to dictate. Mm-hmm. If you like ketchup, put lots in.
So when you create food, do you still apply? You were saying before about kind of the delicacy of palate and how you allow things to happen.
Well, when I was young, it was about the technical ability.
Yeah.
It's about refinement and presentation. Because what happens is, as a chef evolves, what he tends to do when he first starts as a head chef, he tends to use presentation to hide his lack of technical ability.
I've employed a few like that.
And then what happens is, as your confidence grows, your knowledge grows, your work becomes finer, becomes simpler. Generosity should be your presentation. So now, throw some chopped shallots in. Again, your choice. I love tasting.
Yeah.
Chives. Got some chives. Tarragon, the most important herb of the three.
I love tarragon.
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious with chicken. So, in with some tarragon. Now, let's get more chives in there. Some chervil. As I say, lots of herbs.
Ketchup, Worcester sauce, Tabasco. Having those in your store cupboard, the versatility of those three is quite amazing.
There we are.
Okay. Lamb chops.
Let's season our lamb chops. And I'm always generous with seasoning for the simple reason is a large percentage washes off in the cooking. Mm-hmm. I forgot some. No.
So when you're at home, mm-hmm. do you barbecue? Do you cook on open flames at all?
Yeah, I like cooking on fire.
Yeah.
I think fire is the most primitively delicious way of cooking, actually. But I like also, it's got to have an element of sophistication as well. Mm-hmm. But I never marinate things. I always cook whatever I'm cooking with.
Uh-huh.
There we are, look at that. And that's... Just because it's on fire, it doesn't mean it has to be a... Right, here it goes.
So we've got our searing plate, and there is the proof of that putting the meat straight onto that searing plate, heavenly.
What's nice about lamb chops, some will be pinker than the others, because when you get a best end of lamb and you chop it up, as it goes towards the neck, the cutlets get close together, so they're not as generous, they're not as thick. There we are. Wow, they're big, aren't they?
We've got some nice sear on them, and then dropping them down onto the indirect heat just to cook them further rather than through.
That's really good. It's very powerful.
Brilliant. I mean, genuinely, I've got one of these at home. They are fantastic and good because they'll do good volume as well. Still retain the heat.
That's big. Yeah, that's right. You haven't got that loss of heat.
Yeah.
The problem with a lot of things in life is when you put lots of meat on, you get loss of heat.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. Nice lamb, actually.
Yep. So do you still have a love of fine dining as well, or do you find more, I mean, this, for example, is a beautifully simple way of cooking food. Do you find more and more that you go towards just a good quality ingredient simply cooked?
I like simplicity.
Yeah.
And also, as I've got older, I don't eat as much.
Yeah.
So I like, say, for example, one generous main course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, where I can indulge, give me some cheese.
Yeah. Nice lamb.
It's nice. From the north.
Of course. Wow.
Right. Voila. And then...
Do you think a lot of the time, as human beings, we overcomplicate cooking? Because this is, don't get me wrong, there's a great knowledge of flavours that have gone into that vinaigrette, but this is very simple cooking.
Well, the more you do to food, the more you take away from food.
Yeah.
There we are. Very simple. And when you think that's from start to finish, really, 10 minutes.
Yeah. Tortuously, I'm not allowed to taste these until we've done the salmon. So what are we doing with the salmon?
It's a salmon steak, scaled, filleted, pin-boned, and just cook on the plancha. You'll see. Very simple.
So the plancha's in, nice and hot.
There we are. So.
Lovely. I love that sizzle. It's amazing when you put something on a plancha on that heat. Beautiful smell. How long?
It's not going to take that long. I mean, this is an amazing barbecue. It's very powerful. It's very good. It cooks quicker than you think.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, that is magnificent.
Yeah.
I don't think barbecues are just for summer.
No,
I think they're for
100%.
winter.
Yeah.
But I think to have that as a piece of kit in your kitchen, to do barbecued salmon, for example, I think it's fantastic. I mean, they've come a long way in my lifetime.
Yeah.
If I think what a barbecue was 40 years ago when I was a young man, and what they are now, this is like the Rolls Royce.
Yeah. Wow. So simple.
Go with the fennel salad.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cook pink. But also salmon's one of those fish you can eat well done as well.
Yeah.
Because it's got good oil content, so. And lots of fresh herbs. Sorry, Mr. Cameraman. There we are. And there we have it. Just family style.
If you're watching this and you're not going to be the most jealous of me that you've ever been, as Marco Pierre White has cooked me not only beautiful lamb chops, but some fantastic plancha salmon with the tomato ketchup vinaigrette. Cannot wait to taste.
But the reality is that plancha. Look at the skin.
Yeah.
Beautifully crisp. Most barbecues burn salmon. That's very clever. That's very good.
What we tasting first?
Let's
how
try
we
the
taste
lamb.
it?
Let's try them. Take a lollipop. Oh, look at that. Delicious. Look at that. I want a fatty one.
Wow. Wow.
See, it's so... Look, it's like milk-fed lamb.
That ketchup's amazing, Marco. Ketchup vinaigrette is something else. What about the salmon? How are we tasting that? That was so good. Happy with that?
That's truly delicious.
Isn't it?
But remember, the quality of that skin is created by that plancha, not by me.
Super. Also, the thing I really love is that the vinaigrette behaves so differently with the lamb than it does from the salmon.
Fantastic with chicken.
Brilliant. Marco, thank you. 2 amazing dishes, amazing stories.
Thank you, Mr. Rimmer.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Lamb chops and salmon a la plancha with ketchup vinaigrette by Marco Pierre White. If you want to hear my chat with Marco for the podcast in full, head to weber.com/grilling, where you can also watch Yotam Ottolenghi, Andy Oliver and John Turode prepare their dishes on a Weber Genesis barbecue.